Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Can't believe it's already Thursday. Had a very slow period of sales for like 48 hours. There's only like one item that sold like halfway through yesterday. So it's just getting crazy because there was like one sale 2 days before at 4 p.m. and then it took more than 24 hours to get another sale. So I don't know what's going on with that. But like I said, I just used the time to list more and organize more. So did a bunch of that, but then we had some sales come over through the nighttime and then throughout when I was sleeping. So the first thing right here is Penumbra, The Tide of Years. This is going to be a D20 system RPG book. This ended up only selling for $8, but people like to get different modules. They'll have little campaigns for people to play. They'll have like characters, and there are these third-party companies that use the D20 system for D&D. Like right here, I guess I didn't really show any cool pictures, but it's a little booklet. People like them. This is by a company called Atlas Games. I've sold their stuff before. Like I said, $8. Moving along, we have Spooky Town Collections by Lemax right here. It's hard to show you guys. I don't really want to tilt it, but this is going to be, it's, I guess right here, the back right here, we'll show you guys. It's going to be one of those Halloween decorations. It's supposed to have like sounds, lights, and other stuff. I tested it with batteries, did not work. Got it from a storage unit flipper. It was part of like the bulk deal with all the police cars and all the other stuff. So I decided what the heck, someone might like. Obviously, I was going to try it. I figured it wouldn't work. It did not work. And then I was like, well, this can still be like a nice shelf piece for Halloween. It's like I said, it's a nice little cemetery graveyard. There's little like pumpkin bags. There's a ghost, and there's like lanterns, and there's a tree, and there's a whole trick or treat house there. So it's just like a nice piece. We actually got a bunch of this Halloween stuff, not this Lemax company, but a different company, like a couple years ago. And I wanted to keep this stuff, but when we put it on the shelf here, she said that she didn't really enjoy it as much because a lot of the figures were like smaller ones, so like really tiny, so she couldn't like appreciate them from visually far off. So that is something I might be listing at some point. People are thinking about Halloween. It's August. They already, I mean, there's a lot of people think about Halloween all the time. That sold for $30. That's interesting because I also have like another bigger thing by the Lemax where it's like a skull pirates Halloween themed like island thing. That one also does not work. So I was going to lower the price on these two over time just because they're not working and stuff, and they're just taking up. They're not even in a box in a storage unit, which is bad for me, but they're kind of in my way. But all right, moving along. This is going to be Halo 4. I think this is a collector's edition. This is just the box, the manual, everything but the game itself. I don't remember playing Halo 4. I played a bunch of 1, 2, and 3, a bunch of Xbox Live. So it has the Marines UNSC little symbol here that you probably can't see, and then some code here. But like I said, someone's just going to use this to complete their game. It says Halo 4 here on the side. I usually don't get too lucky finding video game stuff that like everyone's aware that it's worth a lot of money and stuff. So I'll usually get like little bits and scraps like that because I know people still like it. Only $5.67. That was part of like a different, bigger bulk purchase. Moving along, we have this Incomplete. Never played this board game. There's been a lot of board games I've been getting. I don't know too much about. Western Front Ace right here. It's just a bunch of like rules and their score pad and some of the cards for the game, different player boards. There's like a bunch of them. Like this whole bag is full. It's gonna be like a couple pounds itself. So yeah, this is Incomplete. Going to a repeat buyer. So as I'm listing some of this like older war game stuff or miniatures, I do keep getting repeat buyers. They're probably aware of what these are more than me, and then they're glad to pick them up as like additional stuff for their games, or maybe they ruin something, or maybe they know it's worth more and they want to flip it themselves. I never know. It doesn't matter to me. But this ended up selling for $20 right there. All right, next up, this is unusual for me. I normally don't list CDs that are like scratched and stuff. I listed this as is, which means I went to my own description. I said there was like scratches, and they probably weren't too bad, but I wanted to let them know that there was some scratches. I do have a pile of PC games where I just, anytime I see like some kind of scratches, I put them in like a box. And then Annetta let me know that I should probably just sell off like the big box really cheap and then make sure that people know that they're all damaged. So maybe they can clean them or test them. Some people have the machines at home. Some places like around us, there's a place called Disc Replay where you can technically, I think, spend like $1 or $5 and they'll clean discs for you for video games and stuff. So sorry, that was just a tangent. But yeah, this is Versus Secret Swingers CD here. Don't know too much about CDs. I was just shocked that I listed a scratched one. This ended up going for $8. Like I said, the scratches must have not been too bad. I can't check because it's already like I bagged it pretty nicely, and it has like a little seal that won't unseal. Like if I unseal it, it looks like open and ripped. Moving along, we have a lot of 2 PC games. I've been selling a little bit more PC games. These are Tom Clancy games. I've never played them. it's kind of weird. Like I said, it's just I get really focused on like certain video games, and I'll play them for like a long time compared to other people. Like my average game time for most games is like 700 to 1,000 hours, and if you're not a video gamer, that just means that I play them a bunch. Where some people will play a game maybe like 40, 60 hours, they get their enjoyment, then they move on to the next game. So that's why there's a lot of these old school PC games that I just haven't played, or yeah, never dove into. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of like shooter games. I'm not good at them, so it makes sense that I'm not a fan of them, even though I liked my favorite shooter game is probably Dead Space, which is like a survival horror game. And then also I like Borderlands, just because they have a cool like loot system where like the you get a lot of items and your character has like a skill tree. But yeah, these two games ended up going for $16, and then someone else was sending me messages about PC games. So maybe people are realizing that as more of these companies are like taking away digital games from them, there's a lot of drama in the video game world with that. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I don't have like all the facts. I've just been observing it from other people talking about it. I think that's why I'm selling more PC games, which is why we've always thought that the PC games, the physical media, the CDs and stuff, Ned and I have always believed are important, and we believe that they will go up in value. Is it going to be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 2 weeks from now? Don't know, but like we do sell them, and I like people enjoying them. Moving along, we have this Cherished Teddies girl holding tray of cookies. We got a bunch of Cherished Teddies. This is like one of our first bulk buys. This one was not my favorite bulk buy. It was such a pain to like list them all. They are ceramics. They do have like usually like a certificate and like some kind of like foam in there, so most of them don't break. But yeah, we got too many of these. I think we got like 500 or 600 of them at $1 a piece. We've made our money, but it's like one of those weird bulk buys where the time investment wasn't super crazy. It was still a lot of time to list them all and go through it. We made good money, but I don't know. I just like wouldn't deal with them. They are some really slow sellers now at this point. So this ended up going for $7.99. I get super happy when they sell. We did some individual, some bulk lots, and there's still technically a bunch, I think, at my parents' place that we just dropped off. It's like in the garage, and I feel bad, but I do have to eventually get time to list them. But I've just sourced better stuff since then. But all right, next up, we have this record, The Best of Cole Porter. I don't know anything about records. It's literally not in my wheelhouse, so I can't talk more about it. Anytime I mention this, someone usually in the comments will give me some history of like who the person is or why it's important. But I do know that people will appreciate the records. I think it's a cool, another physical media form that people enjoy, and someone's going to listen to this. These were going to be thrown away. There was like I've talked about this countless times, but for any new people, we got like a couple hundred of these. They were either trash or they were going to be given to us to list. So I was like, you know what? Even though it's out of my wheelhouse, the thought of a bunch of these going into the trash just kind of made me sad. So we ended up listing them $6.23. Like I said, nothing fancy for money, but there were some good ones in there, or at least for money. There was like a couple that were like 20, 30, or 40. So I just like that we saved it from trash, and people are slowly buying maybe like one every week or two from us. So, all right, moving along, we have Dark Age Feudal Lords. Feudal Lords. Ooh, okay, I got it. Sorry, I didn't have it on the back. I had a little brain fart there. This is going to be, I think it's a rare card. This is Invest Leadership. This is like a victory card. This is a dead card game. I think they only had like 1, 2, or 3 sets, or maybe even the third set was planned, but then they never printed it. So yeah, really cool art. I'm not too sure what the victory card is. I know this game isn't just fighting creatures on like the card game, like, you know, some stuff like Pokemon or Magic, where it's kind of just creature fighting. I think there is like you have an investigator and there's other ways to get points or how to win. I've never played the game, so that's as best as I can speak on it. Get this stuff at auction. I do like the art style. $10.50 for this one. The victory cards kind of don't really have anything kind of great. They have like little heads here in some of these little slots, so I'm sure that might relate to something game wise, but that art isn't too fancy. Next up is going to be 2 of these. They're a company called, I think, like Great Britons or something like that, or Britain Toys or LTD or something like that. It's on the maker's mark on the bottom of these. These are a couple of trees, 2 of them, and then there's like a little wooden gates parts. You know, it's like as if the gates is basically broken. Not in the actual, like my thing's not broken. That's how it was designed. So These end up going for $16. So apparently this company, I don't know too much about it, but when I originally got these, I looked up the maker's mark. I'm like, am I going to be able to list two of these? And I realized that whatever this company was, people do like them. So yeah, $16 for that. They're from 1971. Britain's, yeah, Britain's is what the company's called. Sorry, I just looked at my listing. And then the last item for the day, the person who got the Legend of the Five Rings Ivory Decks. This is going to be, they picked up the Scorpion clan right here. Legend of the Five Rings is super cool. Usually when I find someone that likes Legend of the Five Rings, they kind of get a bunch of stuff. It is a slow seller, but there's like I talk about this all the time. There's a lot of lore with this stuff. So yeah, it says Ivory Edition here. It comes with a nice little tin. This is with the faction symbol with an actual huge deck and extra cards in there. So got a bunch of these at auction. Got super lucky. It was like a massive Legend of the Five Rings card game collection. I think it was like I got it for $22. Super lucky. I think people do know that Legend of the Five Rings is like a slower seller, but I got $55.99 for this one, and they also paid that for the other two. So that's fantastic. All right. Like I said, there was only like one sale middle of the day yesterday, so it was looking pretty grim. I was like, oh wow. And technically, even though we had some chunky sales, a couple of these sales were actually when I was at the storage unit. I think like 3 or 4 people were like sending offers. So normally when I'm at the storage units, there's not many offers coming. It's just like lines up with how it happens. But today there was just a bunch of offers. I think there was like 2 other things that I forgot to grab because we were like doing offers and counter offers, and I didn't see that it came through. But that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our shop down below.